Alright, so this is my first time really doing a podcast by myself. I want to first introduce myself. My name is Taylor. I'm aka Doc. I am known as a Baltimore arts culture blogger in Baltimore, Maryland. I have a blog called Doc's Casual Media. I've had this blog since 2013. I went full-fledged with it probably in 2014 when I tried to, get my own website and all that. But I have my own website, and basically that's what I do on my website. But now I want to enter a new realm of dialogue because this is something that I always have taken an interest in and I've always followed on my own. So here I am trying to create a podcast for my favorite show. I swear, this is one of my shows that I love to watch all the time. This is what I want to be on. I watch it in different countries all over the world. This is my joint. Big Brother. I've been watching Big Brother since it came on, basically, years ago. I think it came on like 2001. Either way, I was a little kid for real when I was watching Big Brother, and I love Big Brother. Like, I probably don't really recall season 1. I don't really think I even watched season 1, but I've been watching Big Brother with my mom. So whatever season my mom started with, which I believe is season 2, because that's the one that we like the most, that season is where I started with. And I just have been hooked ever since, to the point where, like I said, I watch Big Brother Canada, I watch Big Brother Australia, and I've seen some UK episodes. I love Big Brother for real. So I would love to watch other countries, but because those countries have English dialect, it's easy for me to watch those shows. Doing this podcast might be a little challenge for me because it's hard for me to kind of stick to something. I would say that, but I also want to say that that isn't true because I've had a blog for so many years. I might not be consistent with posting it, but I definitely keep consistent with keeping my blog up for people to look at. People still view my blog, and then when I get out of whatever rut that I'm in, I always come back to it. And I want to use this opportunity to do my Big Brother podcast to kind of see if I can be so committed to doing it. That's one thing. I am so committed to watching the show. I watch the show 3 times a week. It comes on 3 times a week. And I even watch the live feed. But I want to say that when it comes to, if I can be consistent with watching the show, I think I could at least do a podcast, once a week, right? Put my input about what I think. Just pick a day that I want to talk about stuff. If I have breaking news, come on and put a podcast then. For the most part, I want to stick to creating one podcast a week. This week might be different because I'm starting this idea at the last minute on the whim, not really understanding where I'm going to put my audio for all of this. I don't know if I want to keep the audio on just YouTube because that's where I watch podcasts. I enjoy watching different Big Brother podcasts and clips from live feeds on YouTube. But when it comes to just doing this myself, what's going to be the best place for me to post this? I don't know. I'm still doing my research, and this will be out probably on YouTube first anyway. But anyway, let me go on to talking about this podcast more. Big Brother 25. So I'm deciding to do my podcast in the 25th season because, first of all, podcasting is popular at this moment, in this decade, in this era of our life. Everyone has a podcast. Shoot, I'm a co-host of another podcast. But when it comes down to kind of doing this podcast now versus doing this maybe a few years ago, or maybe even when everybody started doing podcasts during COVID, I decided to do Big Brother 25 now because I'm currently in my element and feeling that I need to commit to something, but also what not. Try to do it on the anniversary of the 25th year and 25th season of Big Brother. I think that this is the right one. Actually, honestly, because I'm black, I honestly think that the season 23 with the cookout might have been the best one for me to participate in. But my mind wasn't there, so I digress. We're going to move on to 25 and hope that this season is going to be worth me even doing a podcast about, because the last couple of seasons, when it comes to personality-wise and watching these people play, it's been kind of whack. I don't know if I want to even continue to do the dialogue with whack personalities that I watch when it comes to looking at the Big Brother seasons. Like Canada, when I watch Big Brother Canada, I be feeling like the personalities and the people and the games, it's just better to watch. It's very enjoyable to watch. I didn't watch the most recent season of Canada, but I think I've watched the season before that. And it really is, really more intriguing to watch the BB Can than to watch Big Brother America at this point sometimes. And then, like I said, I was even watching Big Brother Australia. And when it came to me watching Big Brother Australia, that was even better. But theirs is kind of like eerie. The music in theirs is eerie, and it's so long drawn out. Their episodes are probably like an hour and a half, but I still stick to it for some reason. Maybe because their competitions are crazy in Australia. They have so much like harder endurance competitions when I watch Australia versus Canada and the US. But anyway, I just want to say that I want this season to be a good season when it comes to personality-wise. And I wanted to be able to talk about this season, though this is my first season really having a podcast. So let me go into explaining, I guess, the top people that I am rooting for as we're watching BB USA start. I'm recording this actually on the premiere day, and it's coming on tonight. So when I post this podcast, it's most likely going to be with the next podcast anyway, because Big Brother comes on so frequently that I think that, I'm going to have to just do it like that. It might be 2 weeks. It might be weeks where I have 2 episodes, or, I just have breaking news that I need to put a quick clip on about what I think about what's happening, because we've had things in Big Brother that's happened that's been so crazy. So crazy. So I want to get right into actually talking about the personalities of the characters or the cast. I'm not saying characters because these are actually people. Like, this isn't a fictional show. This is reality TV, but, might be some fictional things thrown into the podcast of the show. But let me say, I want to say a few things about the people that were introduced to us now, that the cast has been released to the world for this season. I just want to pick out a few people that I am trying to root for right now before the show starts, because that seems to be really cool. It's like, fantasy Big Brother, where you get to choose who you think is going to be the winner. And I also want to talk about certain stereotypes that I feel as though reality TV is kind of moving away from by looking at some of these cast members as well. But I saw an article from ET that was posted, and the article was the cast members, and they had like where they were from. It don't really say too much of the personality of these people, but I've seen clips online of a few videos and clips of personalities from people, because they're posting it on CBS, Big Brother, social media pages. And these people seem real cool, but you know how you get your first impressions of people, and that's just how society is. Everybody has first impressions, and that's why I think we put the cast list out there for us to see, because the world, we always look at people from as their cover. You look at the people at their covers first. So if we're looking at them at face value right now, and we're judging them, and that's exactly what we're going to do right now on this podcast. We're going to judge the people that we have been has been set free for us. Okay, so basically, all right. So I want to say that Big Brother often like kind of mix up bringing in characters or cast members from different reality shows, and they put on cast members from past shows. But it looks like so far when they've released this list, like one of the first things that they say in the article is that we have some characters from Survivor that's going to be in this cast this year. And I'm trying to pick out what their name is while I'm looking at this. But they say it's the brother of Zach Wartenberger, who was voted out first on Survivor 43. His brother is basically going to be in Big Brother this season, and yet we have another player of a son of a Survivor legend, Carrie Field. But I'm not really sure who exactly these people are, because like I said, this is my first time really seeing their faces. So we don't really care for that until they actually decide to introduce themselves. If they want to introduce themselves as a Survivor relative, then they can. Will it be a threat in the Big Brother game? I don't know why they ever do this. I don't never really think that it's ever a threat to bring in someone else from another show, on there, unless you're gonna play a game like last season of The Challenge, when they put nothing but reality TV show stars on there, and then they started clicking up based off of what show they were on. That's the only time that matters. But in Big Brother, we literally got two people that's coming in right now. Are they going to pair up and actually do that? Who knows? They follow that dynamic. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But I think it's whack if that's the strategy that they're going to use. Because why? Just play your own game. Play your own game. But if you can pull it off, do it. If it's entertaining to me, do it. But for the most part, I would rather come into the Big Brother house playing my own game. So to say that two people coming in from Survivor is about to twist some things and shake some things up, I don't think so. I do not think it's going to switch anything up depending on who these people are. But anyway, I want to talk about the people that is really pulling my attention right now, who I think might go far in this game based off of strictly looks. I don't really know. You always want to go with kind of like, your first thought is to go with people who look athletically built because they can win the endurance competitions, or they can just win a lot of competitions. But those people sometimes aren't always socially built to play this game right. And when it comes to doing mental competitions, they aren't always that paired up with the right people. So what we're going to do here, I feel like Matt Coates, who's age 27, from, what he says, he's currently living in Baton Rouge, LA. He's a gold medalist. Honestly, he is the fit for the athletic build person to win the endurance competitions. But we gotta see if he's able to do that before we even watch the show. And honestly, the game is determined literally from the first episode of Big Brother. You think about it. When we get our first HOH, person that, and they choose their nominees on the block, it's literally based off of looks anyway. So Matt could either win the first competition and be the HOH for the first week, or he could lose the competition and be on the block because he is athletically built. You can go any way. Because if I came in a house, I'm going to put the person that I feel is a threat to me on the block, and the person that feels like they're a threat to me is the person that look like they're athletically built, because I ain't athletically built. I probably get athletically built in the big brother house, but right now, walking in at this moment, if I was in there, I know that the strongest person is going on the block. So what I'm going to say is maybe that, in my thoughts, and how I would play, and what I think that many people should do when they first come in the house, if they're going to do this strategy. And I would put Matt Coke on the block, first person. Yeah. So, it's not looking too good for Matt, in my opinion. But honestly, if he has a personality that might match the looks that he has, then he might make some friends fast and be actually put at a household by vote too. It's been happening, things like that happen in the past. Anyway, my next person, we got Luke Valentine. Luke Valentine is 30, and Luke is from Coral Springs, Florida. He's an illustrator. Luke just looks like he is a cool, funny guy based off his pictures. So right now, he, to me, looks like he is going to have a very strong social gameplay, just because he looks funny. He might be able to get along with the ladies and be on the ladies' side because he looks funny. He looks like a bro. He looks like he might be able to befriend Matt. Honestly, he could be a threat socially for people, but I don't think that people are going to initially come into the house thinking of him as a threat because he looks so friendly. So I want to say that Luke might be one of my top people right now that might make it far in the game, just based off of his looks. My next person, I might say, that might go a little far in the game right now, maybe because of a little white guilt because of the past couple of seasons. We just had 2 black winners in the past 2 seasons. We even had an incident last season where there was a supposed white alliance that was supposed to come because of threats from them thinking about the cookout from the previous season. So what I want to say and be real about when it comes to this season right now, it's looking pretty good for colored black people, a minority people in Big Brother, because I think the tables could probably switch around if we look at it in that way, So I'm looking at the black folk in the house is possibly getting far, as long as they don't blatantly walk into the house thinking that they can use their race as a way to get to the end. It's been done now. We've had 2 black winners now, and I think that when it comes to this 25th season, are we going to continue the same narrative of having another black player? It would be awesome to have another black player or have a colored player. Somebody come and win Big Brother at this point. But I feel like in society, what's been going on socially, will we see a black player win right now? It could be. I don't know. It's up in the air right now. I honestly would like to see someone new that hasn't won Big Brother kind of win Big Brother now. So if, let's look at like an Asian American would win Big Brother, that would be really cool. And I don't want to say that hasn't been. I can't really think. I know that James, being an Asian American in previous season, has gotten pretty far, but I can't even think, has he really won? He might have got it to like third place. But honestly, it would be nice to see an Asian American win Big Brother at this point. But honestly, I think that when I'm looking at this picture now, I'm looking at Jared Fields, who's age 25, and he's from Connecticut. I basically think that he might go far just because he's black, and people are probably gonna not. I don't want to say. I'm gonna say they're not gonna try to put the minorities on the block. Somebody might do something different this season. This is me talking about the first episode before it come on. I would hope that they wouldn't walk into the house doing the same thing that they always do, putting the minorities on the block for the first week. I hope they don't do that, but it could possibly happen. So if that does happen, Jared looks like he's a strong player athletically and has built a little bit. He might be on the threat because he might be on the block because of that. But he's black. Yeah. Black people seem to be put on the block. And honestly, the other person or the other stereotype that always seems to be put on the block seems to be like the oldest person. So it's not looking pretty good for Miss Felicia Cannon either, who's age 63, which I saw an interview on online watching royalty podcast with Tiffany, or the members of the Cookout, Tiffany, Derek, and Hannah. They have a podcast. So basically I watched their podcast, and it was like a clip and I'm talking about this lady, how she does not even look like she is able to pass for what she said, 55. Even 55 is kind of old to be in the Big Brother house. But anyway, she's black don't crack. All right, black really don't crack, and she looks great for 63. But she is 63. She's one of the older people in the house, and people are gonna know that you're older. And usually, the oldest person is put out there on the block as a threat. But lately, like these last couple of years, people are scared too. You don't want to look bad on television. You don't want to look like you're putting a minority on the block too. So right now, she could actually get far in the game just because she could play a mom figure to people based off of her being an older lady. So she could get far. She's from Georgia too. That's what she said. She's with Kennesaw, Georgia. She's from Georgia too. She might and she a real estate agent, social media. She's friendly. She has the personality that might put her out there to be like a mom figure, an older person that's gonna give people advice. It might help her stay around in the Big Brother game socially. That could actually be her social gameplay. So she might get far. Like I said, previous seasons, Big Brother has had the minority he put on the block first. Big Brother in the last couple of years has, thrown in a lot of biracial and, different races to mix it up, so it doesn't seem like the majority of people are in the house are white people. So, with that being said, there is more black people in this season, more colored people in this season, so we'll see how that goes. It's not to the point where it was like the Cookout, though. Cookout had literally like 6 people up in that joint. We don't got 6 black people in this house. Nah, they ain't gonna do that no more. We know that they ain't gonna do that no more. But it's a diverse group of folks, and the game could play differently. It actually could be differently. I'm interested in seeing, also, there is a woman named Nicole Hayes, who's 30, that's entering into the house, and she's from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. I'm interested in seeing how she plays just because she's from Maryland currently. It says that her hometown is St. Louis, though, so it could be that she just moved to Maryland. But I like rooting for the people in Maryland. Just because I'm in Maryland, I like to kind of feel like I relate to the person that is from Maryland or the DMV area in Big Brother, because I feel like I kind of know the way that they think, because we live in the same region, and I don't know why I got that type of logic, but that's why I feel like I might understand how that person moves based off of where they live. But also, some people from Maryland in the past played some really wacky games. So I also do not want to solely root for someone who is from Maryland. I just always be like, oh, maybe if they go in a diary room and explain something about how they think, and I agree with them, I'll be, oh yes, that's that, that's the Maryland in them, So I'm interested in seeing how Nicole, hey, the political consultant too, and we've had other political players, Helen being one of the ones that sticks the most out to me, who's been, I think that was season 16, Helen, one of the political players. They seem to play and be very manipulative. Like, Helen was very, very manipulative. And if Nicole Hayes walks in and she's a political consultant, I'm going to just put the stereotype on her. Maybe she can be manipulative. Maybe she can woo people in her favor. So I'm interested in seeing Nicole play. I want to see how far she can get. For some reason, Red Utley reminds me of Donnie, and it's because of the beard. So I love Donnie in past seasons. I forget what season that was, but it was a season with Frankie. It was a season with Derek. It was a bomb season. It was some bomb people in that season. I forgot what year it was. But if I'm gonna be looking at Red Utley right now, I look at him as Donnie, and I don't want to say that is going to put a threat on him if other Big Brother fans, super fans, are in the house and recognize that. They might also put him on the block first because he's from Tennessee. He looks like Donnie, and Donnie was a threat in his season. So, especially if he come in the way he's posing in his picture with with the two peace signs up in his cast member picture, he's posing like he is just ready. He's welcoming. He's friendly like Donnie. Donnie might not have been out there posing in pictures like that. Donnie was kind of, a little stiff, but he was such a sweetheart. And this guy looks like he is cool. He's friendly. He's 37 years old, a little older, but honestly, he looks fine. So maybe Red Utley might be somebody that could be a threat socially in the Big Brother game this season. He could be put on the block first. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? But I feel like that is like as far as I can go with my predictions. I'm looking at everyone else when I look at my and try to predict anything. They try to be very diverse in the age groups. And we do have some, quite a bit of young people in here. Like, you have somebody who's 21. The youngest person was 21. Corey Wardenberger, the youngest person. So far, he's from Florida. The youngest person always is the college student. And I guess people could also look at that person as one of the most naive people in the house, because I honestly think that's how people started looking at Ian when Ian came in his season. He was young, he was a college student, and people also looked at his weirdness or him being on the spectrum as a way. They just overlooked him. They overlooked him in the game. They didn't really think that he was a threat because of how he was and him being so young. Corey, he looks in this picture a little bit innocent, might be a little weird, but he is the brother of the the season 42 player of Survivor. So if he walks in the house and he tells people that, it could be to his advantage. If he goes in a house, based off of what I look at, I'm looking at him as he's just a little timid, and he not say that, he could get far from that too. I don't know. I don't know what people's logic is, knowing that someone from Survivor is coming in Big Brother when they in the house. I told you what my logic is. If I saw Corey, I would be his friend. I would be his friend. I'd probably play with him, and we talk about video games, because that's what he looks like. He looks like he plays video games. But I don't know. I just feel as though he reminds me of Ian in this picture. And if Big Brother super fans walked into the game thinking like how I think, then I understand that maybe Corey could either be a threat because they're thinking about Ian, especially if he's a good mental game player too. And like Ian also was like very like he played endurance games pretty well. He's young. I feel like Corey might play endurance games well because he's young. But you know, yeah, I'm looking at this cast and the youngest person looks like they can go far. You know, we have middle-aged people. Would y'all consider people in their 30s as young? I feel like 30 is young. But you are hitting your middle ground when it comes to reality TV for some reason. And most shows and like in stereotypical shows, we always see. I feel like when you're in your 30s on a reality show, it means that you about to phase out. Because I rarely see people in their 40s. If you are on a reality show, or not reality show, just say TV. If you're on TV and you're 40 years old, people look at you as you in your midlife crisis. So I would consider 30 being young, but you about to be on your way out. So when I'm looking at some of these people that's in their late 30s, y'all might be entering middle age round in this game. You might be questionable to have on your team, but early 30s will keep you around. And in the 20s, it's just fresh. We need you on our team because you're young. We need you to play with us if we got to team up because you're young. You got that stamina. But I don't know. My predictions are my predictions, and I am honestly ready to see how the game is going to play. The first week is always just like the bye week for me because, you know, the first head of household got to make decisions off of just literally just like how I just make decisions off of how people really look. And it stirs and it starts and it brews the rest of the season. So, what can I do? What kind of predictions can I really give at this moment? The next episode or the next podcast that I share about Big Brother would literally be about probably the first episode, or maybe I just should wait a week. Maybe I should wait till eviction. I don't know. But if I want to talk about these new characters, I'm going to basically wing it, honestly. I'm going to go off of how I feel after I watch the first episode, if I'm going to record another episode for y'all. So y'all will see if there will be 2 podcasts coming out in the same week for my first week. I'm just going to keep it real with you. But anyway, I just think that if we're going to go off of the first week, how am I supposed to know? How are we supposed to know? So, literally, we just gonna watch the first week. I can't even watch the live feeds the first week unless some drama happened in the first week on the live feeds. Like, it's so boring the first week. We still just trying to get to know personalities. So, it's not much I can say. Let's just hope that they can meet each other. We get to know them. And as we get to know them, we can be revealed a very entertaining show. I hope I can get an entertaining season this season. I hope that the strategy is not just going to be floaters playing most of the game and no one having a strategy. You know, I'm ready to see some good strategy. So, let's bring it on. Let's just bring it on. I'm ready for Big Brother 25. I'm ready to do this podcast for you guys. It's something new for me, and I'm excited. I am so excited. So let's get ready. Let's watch this. In the description of my videos, I plan to put a link of articles that I read when it comes to Big Brother, so that y'all will know, you know, what what I'm talking about. So the ET article should be in the description of this if I have a place for it wherever I post this. Most likely if it's on YouTube, you will see it in the description. And you will also see a link to my website where that I hope to post the previous episodes of my podcast so that you guys can keep up with it. My website is dascasollc.com, and I hope that you guys will go check me out. Check out Baltimore's culture as well, because I write about Baltimore's culture. It's been a while since I've talked about Baltimore recently, but a lot of the artists that I've written about, they are doing things. So you should still see what I have shared, see what they were about then, and then check out on them now. Just keep up with them. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys listen to my next podcast, and I am out.